blank dieters. So today we want to talk about the importance of breakfast when it comes to your weight loss. I know that in the 80s and 90s, even early 2000s, we've really heard that phrase, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, even more so than your lunch or your dinner. So we really want to look into that and see what are the new studies saying, what are the new findings saying, and also I want to share with you my personal experience. Do I function better when I eat breakfast or do I function better when I skip it? So that's what we want to talk about today, because for a long time it has been perceived that people that work in the corporate world, either Wall Street guys or just people that are working office jobs, are fat and not fit, mainly because they're running to their day jobs and they skip breakfast and they just end up eating a bagel along the way, or they just grab a milkshake or whatever, latte in the morning, or they don't eat breakfast at all. That's why they're fat. So we want to talk about this in depth and discover, is it true or is it not true? So let's get into the video. Welcome back, blank dieters. Thank you so much to all my returning subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. My channel is growing each and every day, and I appreciate you. Yes, you. Okay, if you are a newcomer, welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Remember to take a look around before you leave. I've got much more content that you're definitely going to be interested in. And don't forget to do the ritual that makes you family and subscribe. Click the subscribe button down below and also click the notification bell so you are notified every time that I upload a new video. Also, leave me a like and share with your family and friends. I also want to hear your thoughts on the subject that we're discussing today. So head on to the comment section, leave me a comment, and we will have a discussion. I will definitely get back to you about your thoughts. All right, so I said that we are discussing the importance or lack thereof of breakfast when it comes to weight loss and overall health. So one thing I want to bring to light is there are studies that have been done. It's not just a myth that's been propagated. Some studies have been done. And those studies definitely revealed that people that eat breakfast tend to be healthier. They tend to be less obese and are at less risk for these, chronic diseases. So, you can't ignore that if there are several studies that have been done. But we really need to get to what that means. These studies show that definitely people that eat breakfast tend to be healthier, but they cannot get to the cause. Why are they healthier? Is it because of breakfast, or is it because of other factors that they have not investigated? So these studies are so-called observational studies. So we cannot really conclude that it's all about breakfast. That's why these people are healthier. That's why they're less obese. That's why they're less likely to develop chronic illnesses. Something that we need to look at is, what is the cause? Did they really investigate the whole lifestyle, the full lifestyle of these individuals? A lot of times people that tend to eat breakfast are people with structure in their lives. People who live their lives more like a planned lifestyle. They plan, what am I eating for breakfast? Because normally you just don't wake up and say, oh, whatever, in a rush. When you're eating breakfast, when you make an omelet, when you make scrambled eggs, or when you just put thought into your meal, normally you're not going to eat that much. And people who do that normally will have a healthier habit of maybe having more oatmeal, berries, fruit for their breakfast. If you really want to look at it, these are people who have more structure in their lives and have more times for meal planning. But if you want to look at it, the people that skip breakfast are people who normally drink, smoke. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying normally people who skip breakfast because of they wake up late and they're rushing to their job, or they're just not interested, and they're just not interested in meal planning to begin with. So these are things that we need to consider. It's not necessarily to do with breakfast itself. Even the myth that we dealt with, I'm going to put that video right here about breakfast being something that can speed up your metabolism. We also debunk that. It's really not true. It can temporarily do it, maybe for a few hours, but not just making you a whole different person and that your metabolism is just suddenly revved up. It doesn't work like that. So there have been more higher quality studies, what they call randomized controlled studies, that actually prove that breakfast does not really play that big of a role when it comes to your weight loss. In fact, it doesn't really matter whether you eat or skip it. So the kind of logic behind these studies that say skipping breakfast will cause you to be more obese, what they would say is when you skip breakfast, you will tend to overeat because you're trying to overcompensate for the breakfast that you missed. So if you're going to have 500 calories for lunch, you're going to eat 1,000 calories, and you're going to even continue overeating throughout the day because you skipped this most important meal of the day. But this theory is not supported by evidence. Actually, I know because I'm speaking from experience. I practice intermittent fasting. I often skip breakfast. I eat my first meal of the day around 3, 4, but definitely after lunch. And I find that I tend to eat less. When I eat in the morning, like for me personally, when I wake up in the morning, I have this urge to eat that if I eat right when I wake up, I will definitely overeat. That's me. I'm not saying that's everybody. So I've studied my body and I've realized that hunger comes in waves. So when I wake up, I may feel hungry right away. But if I wait for an hour, like go about my day, take a shower, do my devotional in the morning, affirmations, whatever I need to do that morning, see to my children. By the time I finish doing all these chores, I'm okay. I don't even want to eat until a later stage, until I finish all my work or I'm settled and I want to really enjoy and take in my meal. And I don't overeat. But if I eat right when I wake up, when it's just my body wanting to eat, I definitely overeat. So that point that people that skip breakfast will overeat, I don't think that's true. At least in my experience, and then backed by these other studies as well. Actually, what these studies revealed is that people that skipped breakfast actually reduced their overall calorie intake, like throughout the whole day, by about 400 calories. Okay, that's a lot right there. So you might want to consider skipping breakfast. Okay, we'll get to that later. So anyway, I just want to say the higher quality study that we mentioned before showed that it doesn't really affect your weight loss whether you eat breakfast or you skip it. But let's look at something here. With the advent of what we call intermittent fasting, people have kind of been moving away from that thought of if I don't eat breakfast, I'm going to gain weight, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And to be honest, as someone who practices intermittent fasting, I don't think it's really possible to skip breakfast. We dealt with it in a previous video. I'm going to touch it right here. It's not possible for somebody to skip breakfast, okay? Because what is breakfast? What is the meaning of the word? It's breaking the fast, right? Of the long night that you were sleeping, not eating, where your body was resting, repairing itself, your mind was regrouping, all that. That's what breakfast is. So breakfast simply means breaking that long fast, the long window that you're not eating. For some people, that window can be 8 hours. That window can be 12 hours. Haven't you gotten up one day and you just woke up and you were just in a hurry? Maybe you needed to go to the passport office, or you needed to rush to something that you needed to rush to go and do, and you did not eat breakfast. Just because you ate maybe around 12 p.m. or you ate your first meal after lunch, that's still your breakfast because that's the time that you're breaking your fast. So using all logic, it's really not possible for you to skip breakfast. So that's another thing that you just need to consider right there. So people who skip breakfast, like I explained before, tend to actually eat less. And I've seen that in my own personal experience because I am doing intermittent fasting. So in conclusion, there is nothing special about breakfast, okay? It's not the most important meal of the day. You can choose to skip it, to have it. There's nothing wrong right there. So if you feel feel hungry when you start your day, eat breakfast. If you feel like skipping it, you can skip it. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. I hope you learned something. Remember to leave me a comment down below about the topic that we're discussing, and I will definitely get back to you. Till the next video, blank dieters. Bye.